Hi, I'm Dawn. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to make these Halloween ice creams. They're chocolate skulls, fake chocolate skulls. Here has pink and cream two-tone ice cream. Right here, little sprinkles. And over here I got the two-tone pink one. Right there, it's a really light pink on a darker pink. And here we got the orange and cream one right here. Yeah, in real life it's a real pretty shade of orange. So for this project you are going to need a mold for your cone. Right here, I got this a long time ago. I got this from a dollar store, and I also had ordered one online, I think on Etsy, but Amazon had them at one time, but Etsy does sell different cones that you can buy. So what you do, you pour, I made my cones out of plaster of Paris. So just follow the directions on the box. You pour your plaster of Paris. Did that pop up? No. You pour your plaster of Paris inside your little mold here, and then you pop it out. And you're going to notice that my cone is a lot more narrower, smaller than the mold here, because it was too wide. So I took a hand sander and I sanded it around the edge to make it a little bit more realistic looking, the size of it anyway. So that's what I did for that. So that's how you're going to start your cone. Plaster of Paris. For that, you're also going to need Model Magic or any kind of air dry foam clay I'm going to use, because we use this skull mold for that. And you're going to put your clay in the mold here for your little skull. So you're also going to need craft paint. You're going to need your lightweight spackle right here. These are the two brands I have here in Canada that I use right here. And you're going to need some resin. And you're going to need a little bit of cornstarch to thicken that. Let me see. Oh, your sprinkles. These are fake sprinkles I made. I have a video on how to make these. These are made out of oven baked polymer clay. Then I have these little caviar beads right here that I use as well. You don't have to use these if you don't want. You can buy these on Etsy. And you can put whatever you want on your little ice cream sauce. And the spackle. Yeah, and your tip here. This is a dual tip right here. And it's a 1M, I do believe I have there. And I've dropped something here. Okay. You're also going to need 2 styrofoam balls and a hot glue gun. So to get started, first I'll explain the mold here. So what you do, you just take your air dry foam clay or your Model Magic and you put it into your mold, and you put this in the fridge for about half an hour, and then you pop it out because it tends to stick in there. So that's what you do. You put it and then you pop it out, and there's your air dry foam clay mold. There's your skull right there. And as you noticed, so what I did, I painted it, because I painted it burnt umber, this craft paint right here, because in case the sauce that we're going to use, the fake sauce, oh, I just made a mess, you might see the bit of blue coming through. I don't want any of that. We don't want to take a chance of that. You make all your project and then all of a sudden you see blue come through. It's going to kind of ruin it, right? So to play it safe, we're going to paint it with the craft paint. Okay, so you're going to do that. Probably, I think I did 3 coats on that. So just tell you that little tip right there. And then I'm going to take your cone, and then you're going to paint your cone. And for the cone color, I used antique white mixed with yellow ochre right here, these 2 shades right here. And you're going to paint that up, and I don't have, I think I have a color right here actually. Cone mixed up right here. And we're going to paint that. I forgot to haul that out for the video. So we're going to paint up that cone. Got a brush right here, and I think I did 3 coats probably. You're gonna paint up your cone. Like I said, I sanded it down just because the top part was too wide, just the top, just around here. That's what I sanded to make it look a little better, look nicer. This is a real sweet project for fall and Halloween. And I did a coat on top there too. That helps the spackle stick on better right there. And your hot glue gun too. Because I'm going to glue a spot there. I didn't measure the ratio of the two colors. I just mix and oh, my belly's growling. Hope you don't hear my belly growling. Yeah, there. So we did that. And then we do the bottom after. So let that dry, set that aside, put that there. Okay, so then we're going to take a cone here that is dry and it has a coat of varnish as well, matte varnish. No, I do 2 coats of matte varnish actually. So then I'm going to take my hot glue gun and I'm going to hot glue 2 styrofoam balls. This just supports your frosting, your fake ice cream, I should say, your fake ice cream. And we're going to do another one. I got hot glue another little styrofoam ball. It's a little bit smaller than the bottom one. Right there. Kind of make it in the middle. I do this on my cupcakes sometimes too now. Put a little styrofoam ball in the middle. It just supports it more. Gives it a little support. I'm going to let that dry right on there. So while that's drying, I'm going to wipe a mess I made here. My resin. Okay. So, oh, now I made more mess on my hands. All right, so here we got the, I'll show you this. This is to make our two-tone. It's just way easier to have these 2 bags. So I bought these bags and I'll just show you. It comes like this. It's like 2 halves, right? And you just put it together and screw the top on. It just makes it a really pretty easy swirl, easy peasy, 2-tone swirl right here. And then you put your lightweight spackle. This is pre-mixed craft paint with my lightweight spackle, which is a crack filler. And here's some pre-mixed in this container right here that you can see right there. So you just take your spackle, you mix your craft paint, mix it all in, and it gives you that colored spackle. So for the orange, I used orange neon right here to make that pretty orange. I use that color all the time. And for the pinks, I use a mixture. I mix all my colors all the time, but I use candy pink here, a little bit of neon, pink neon, and poodle skirt pink right here. You can use any pink you want. That's the mixture. And for the cream, I put a little bit of bright yellow to make it just a little bit creamier for that cream, if you're going to use cream colored spackle. So then we got our cone here already. That's dry. And we got our lightweight spackle in the piping bags, and you got 1M tip right here. And we're going to pipe around our ice cream right here, like so. It's going to come out 2-tone pink. Right there. Okay. Oh, pretty. Nice. I have to say that turned out pretty good. You never know how things can turn out on video. That turned out pretty good. So then we're going to take our skull here, chocolate skull, and we're going to stick it right on top. There. Now, we are going to let that completely dry. We are not doing nothing. Now, we're going to set that aside. If your skull comes off for some reason, that is no problem. You're just going to take regular white school glue and you're going to glue it back on once it's dry, if it happens to come off. Okay, so we're going to set that right there. And then we're going to take one right here that's completely dry. As you say, this is stuck right on. It didn't come off, but if it does come off, you just glue it right back on. No problem. So now we got that ready. We are going to get our fake sauce ready, which is our resin. 2 parts. You mix these 2, part A, part B together. Follow instructions on the box. Use gloves, open windows, wear a mask. I'm just not doing that right now because I'm doing a video. Okay, so just telling you that. That's what you should do. So we're going to pour them together. And resin is not scary. A lot of people are afraid to use resin for the first time, but it's really no big deal. 2 pieces of liquid and you mix it up. And it gives you awesome little craft projects. Now, if you don't want to use resin, you don't have to. You can use the mixture with the caulking and the Mod Podge and craft paint that I've used many times and still use. You can use. If you don't want to use resin, you certainly don't have to take the resin route. So then we're going to mix this up until you're supposed to think about, wow, 4 or 5 minutes. Maybe we're not going to do that. But you're going to mix it up and then it's going to become clear once it's mixed. Right now it looks kind of cloudy, and but after a while, once you mix it all up, it's going to be crystal clear. And you want to keep checking on your skull to make sure it doesn't fall over or whatever, as it's drying. Just keep an eye on it, make sure it's where you want it to be. Like I said, you don't want to put your skull and do your project and then not, if your skull wasn't painted and then you do all your project and then you can see the color of the clay in the back, coming through. So I did the safest way, and I thought I'm going to paint it brown. Or if you have brown clay, you can mix craft paint in your clay, craft paint in your clay, and makes brown clay, and you can do that if you want as well. So this is getting mixed up here good. Right here. Probably can't there. You see there, it's getting quite clear. Quite a few steps in this project. I want to get this out done before summer's over. So some of you, your kids are back in school. Our kids only go back in school September 6th. So I know some of you, your kids are back in school. Okay, so once I have that mix, I'm going to add the craft paint, which is burnt umber. And I also use the burnt umber in Liquid-X. This is going to make it a darker paint, a darker shade of brown too as well. So I use those 2 shades. So I have them right here on my counter here. Squirted out already. So we're going to mix it in, our resin. Just mix it right in. These are acrylic water-based paints. And you can mix it in resin. I do that all the time. Now if you want a really clear resin for another project, you can buy the dyes online. There, I'm going to add a little more craft paint because I want it quite dark. And you can put whatever you want. You can put a pumpkin. If you don't have a mold, you can mold up a skull out of your hands, or a pumpkin, or anything Halloween-y. You can. You don't need to have a mold necessarily. Oops, what is that? There we go. Okay, I think I'm gonna add a little more brown. Oh, it might be all right. Okay, so now we're going to add our cornstarch. This is going to thicken up our resin. This is a new trick I've just discovered, and I love it. Love it, love it. And I'm going to put it quite thick because I really want it to coat the skull head, skull face, or whatever you want to call it. Just kind of thicken it right up. I also bought a resin thickener online on Amazon. I didn't try it yet, but I did buy some. So, okay, so I think it's quite, I'm going to add a little more, just takes a little bit. And this might do the trick. You're going to mix it all up good right in here. Like I said, I usually wear gloves for sure when I do this because it's sticky and messy. All right, so that should be, I'm gonna put a little more, just to be on the safe side. In the back here, you can see I have my putz houses I've painted right here. I'm getting ready for a craft sale. I've been busy doing that all summer. And I do have some orders I gotta make. I ship them out. I do ship them out on to the US and other countries. And you can go on my page on Facebook, The Pink Tree. That's where you can order some if you want. And I post pictures of my projects on there. Go follow me. I'll put the link for that in the description box and also my Instagram. You can follow me there. Okay, so there. That should be good. It's quite thick. So then we're going to take our ice cream here. And first I'm going to take that there too. I'm going to cover my skull first. I'm not going to spread it. I kind of just spread it on the skull because it's quite thick. You just want to make sure that you cover the skull really well. In the back. You want to do the back. My belly. Oh, he's rumbling. Okay. Here, there. All right, and then we're going to go back to the front here. It's good to do the back first, actually. And then we're going to go to the front so we can see what we're doing. There. You want to make sure you cover your skull really well, all the little spots. There. I'm using this little stick so that I have control of what I'm doing. There. So we're going to let it get right into all the little crevices. And I just want to carefully kind of make sure we get all the edges here. In the back as well. There. Make sure we get all the spots, right? Oh, make sure we get the top here. There. Okay. So, got that all covered up right here. And then we're going to carefully put some on the things here. There we go. Carefully put some drips down. Put some on the top here a little bit. I don't put too much drips because I like to show the ice cream. I don't want to cover all the pretty ice cream, fake ice cream. You could put this in a little squirt bottle if you wanted, but you'll be wasting a lot of squirt bottles. And by thickening it, it makes it not so runny. Here we got some drips going down there. some of that resin. And when you have leftover resin, you just put it in some molds. Make some fake chocolates. That's what I'm going to do after this. If I have a little bit left over. Now, got a little bit of drip there. Just take your little Q-tip and wipe that off. Now we're going to do a little more in the front here. Got some dripping on my hand. Okay. So we got some drips coming down here. Do a little more. It's hard to get into that resin. Okay. One more little drip in the front, I think. There we go. Right there. And I'm gonna wipe my hand here. Now we can go back over, and I'm gonna go back over and go on the top here just to darken that up a little bit, make it a little thicker. Okay. Now you can put as much as you want or as little as you want. That is up to you. Okay. There. Now we should be soon ready to add our fake sprinkles. Okay, that should be good enough. I don't want to be forever. You guys just watching me put this on. Put this on. A little more. Okay, so there. That should be good. So we're going to take our fake sprinkles here, our caviar beads, and we're going to just put it here and there. Like that. I got some on my hands. Let's see. Aha, I'll wipe my hands a little bit here. Get that resin off. Sticky mess. Okay. So I was gonna stick on my hands. Okay, so we're gonna put our little beads on here. I love these little caviar beads. They're so sweet. Like I said, I buy them on Etsy all the time. There's tons of colors you can choose from. And they're sticking on my hand because my hand's wet. Okay, then we're going to, I'm going to try that little drip. There. Then we're going to add our other sprinkles right here. I'm doing this kind of fast for the video, but I usually take my time a little more. There. Cool. And there you go. So that's how you make this little ice cream cone. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you make some for your kitchen this fall. And so please like, share, and subscribe, and I hope you have a great day. I love you all. Bye-bye.